this whole 8-hour shift. 8-hour shifts are not possible in this kind of work.
You know, I grew up with a father who works in films. And I feel like the moment he would start a project, me and my mom, we would be mental. Like as kids, we were mentally prepared, okay, now we're not going to see Achan for the next 5 months, you know. Like he would just, because
Even if he was shooting in Film City.
yeah,
like
you wouldn't,
next
because the work hours are so long. The work hours are like 12 hours, plus you have to go 1 or 2 hours before. Then you finish and you're there planning for the next day. And in that whole Bombay traffic, you come back home. So I feel like you just don't have that parent is just not available. So from a little me's perspective, like if little me had to say, I would definitely say that, you know, I would have liked my father to be around a little more. And I think it's very fair to, if it's possible, to have like a work life and a personal life balance is great, yeah. We all need that, you know, otherwise you get burnt out very fast. So.
And also it's so competitive. I mean, it's one thing to be on screen, then there's the red carpet and then the events. I mean, it's endless. Then there's Instagram, there's social media.
Right, yeah.
Are performing all the time in some way or the other.
There are some countries, I think it's some Scandinavian country or multiple countries, if I'm not mistaken, who have started, I don't know if it's a conversation or if they've actually implemented this, but they've started like 4-day work weeks, where you work for 4 days and the weekend is 3 days.
France has had that for the longest time, I think.
I know in France, like
25 hours.
When you're traveling there, it's fantastic because everything, all the shops, everything closed by 5:30 p.m. People go back home to their families, or they're sitting in a cafe with their friends and they're chilling and they're spending time.
You recently took your mom to Paris, right?
I did. I took my
See,
mom
I follow
to Paris.
you on Insta.
Oh, I took my mama to Paris recently. I did.
There are the great perks of being an actor, right? You do get a good downtime.
Right, you do. But these countries did report an increase in productivity, because when you're working for lesser hours, you're giving it your all. You're putting your best foot forward. And
a note to all the bosses in the audience.
But you know, some Tamil and Telugu films have that 8-hour shifts. So there are certain movies that I think it doesn't happen so much in Hindi and Malayalam, but it varies industry to industry.
Talking about work-life balance, it's interesting you have another persona, which is the wildlife photographer, which is most interesting. That's, I think, your father's genes really passing down to you. Talk a little about this, and I think we do have a snapshot of other Insta handle, which is Miss Mohanan, right?
Miss Mohanan.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, how, wow, you do have a screenshot of it. I love photography. I studied visual arts when I was in college, and I've always...
That was Wilson College?
That was Wilson College.
In Mumbai, right?
In Mumbai. And I've always been, I've always loved photography, cinematography, shooting, like anything to do with visual arts is something I've loved. And if not for being an actor, I think I would have really become a photographer or a cinematographer.
Sorry, is that story true that you were noticed by Mammootty on a set where you'd gone with your dad, and that's how you were chosen to be
to
act
I was
opposite
in college,
Dulquer?
And I was visiting a set one day, and Mammootty sir, who again, like I said, being a Malayali, I've grown up watching his movies. Yeah, the two pillars of Malayalam cinema. And they were casting for a film opposite Dulquer Salman at that point, who was relatively new in the industry. He'd been there for like 3-4 years or something, not more. And they were looking for a girl opposite him. And Mammootty sir saw me and he was like, oh, you know, she looks promising, why don't... And he called me and he asked me, and, you know, so that's how I did my first film. That's how I landed my first role. So I always keep telling everybody, like, if not for Mammootty sir, I don't even know if I would have been a part of the industry.
What would you have done?
For the longest time, I wanted to become a documentary filmmaker.
I still do that.
I can still do that, actually, yeah. And it's something I want to do, like, alongside cinema.
Right.
In my free time, or, you know, sometimes you have, like, this 1 month in between 2 films and stuff. But I love wildlife photography. And I love shooting tigers and lions and leopards. That's one of my
The big
favorite things to
cats.
do. Big cats, big cats. So uh, there are a lot of fantastic forests that we have in India itself. In the southern part of India, we have this whole Mudumalai, Masinagudi,
Yeah.
Kabani, Wayanad, that stretch, which is amazing for wildlife. And in central India, you have Kanha, Tadoba,
Tadoba,
Bandhavgarh, which
yeah.
is again fantastic for wildlife. So I try to go as often as I can, and I'm trying to like shoot more and pursue that hobby of mine a lot more.
I hope the tigers don't end up taking photographs of you.
I hope
Like
they do.
the
I would love to be
paparazzi.
clicked by a tiger.
But talking about PAPs, that's a big thing in Mumbai, isn't it? The airport looks and the gym looks and whatever. How agonizing can that be? Can it be agonizing?
I mean,
Suppose you're caught without the right makeup or the right clothes or whatever.
no, they're actually quite sweet, yeah. I don't think it's the pap. Like the paps are not agonizing. I feel there is so much of emphasis in today's day and age of there are so many people, and there's so much of social media prevalence everywhere that there is a pressure to constantly stay relevant. I would say that is the pressure. And whether it's paparazzi or whether it's posting on Instagram, these are all sort of, it's because of that. It's because because everyone's doing it. Like back in the day, say even 15 years back, there were only a few actors in every industry. There was no social media. You had to be a part of a hit film or a super hit film for the common man to know you. Now, all of that's changed. Like there are people who are Instagram celebrities who you've never seen in a film, nothing of that sort, but complete social media celebrities. Plus there are actors, plus there's television. So it's become such a, there's such a plethora of mediums right now.
It's still a hierarchy, right? The film star is still a cut above the rest, I think. You think?
I mean, that's, I don't know. That's
But you
not-
have 4.3 million followers, right? That's a lot. It's not?
I mean,
You
it is.
don't look too happy about it.
Yeah, no. I thought you were going somewhere with that question. So,
It's important for you to keep that number high.
right?
it?
Yeah, it is. It is because I feel a lot of work. Let me break down the business aspect of it for you. A lot of your association with brands happens through social media in today's day and age. So films is one medium. Yes, you're doing movies. You're making money via movies. But movies is never the only main medium for an actor to make money. And I'm talking about the economics of it, right? The other thing is brand endorsements. But now, in the last few years, a lot of brands have changed their marketing strategy where, yes, brands still have faces. A lot of people do endorse brands. But apart from that, there is a very large amount of money being pumped into digital mediums, reels, and posts on Instagram and stories on Instagram. So a certain social media presence is important for you to sort of tap into the business aspect of things. So everything's very interconnected. So you have to play that game and to sort of climb in your career, to play to the economics of it. It's very important.